Right. Good evening, listeners out there. We are back to Reverend Dr. Samson Awentwam, the CEO of Awentwam Herbal Center located at Zebila in the Upper East region. Yes, this evening we are here to have a one-on-one encounter with him and Dr. Moses. So we have two doctors. And before that, let me welcome you. Good evening to you, gentlemen.
Right, well, thank you so much. Good evening.
Right, this is Beulah Multimedia, a newly established media house located at Zebila Lamboya in the Upper East region. My name is Isaac Alatif. We have heard your hard work. Most people have been saying, I went to Herbal. That you people deal with herbals. And if we say herbals, we know herbals deal with leaves. And when I came, I could see that in your house, there are nice leaves around. And in your house, I can see some nice leaves and trees around. Yes, we are so grateful. You have really proved to us that yes, you are dealing with herbs. I believe you use some of these ones for your drugs.
All right, thank you so much. And I'm much grateful and then happy for being part of your show once again. Yes, when we talk about, yes, you seeing all these leaves here, they are used for medicine. And then they are medicinal use.
Okay.
So they are purposely meant for medicine.
Okay.
They are not just there like any leaf,
for
any
decoration.
ordinary leaves. No,
They are not for decoration.
no, but they are there for a treatment.
Wow. So at Awentwam Herbal, what do you do there?
Well, when we talk about Awontuam Scientific Herbal Hospital, what we do is we deal a lot of things only concerning about herbal, any sickness at all. We are dealing with herbal. We doesn't deal with orthodox or chemical. No, but we only deal with herbal. And we also make sure that any problem you comes with, we can be able to handle it by God's grace. As you asked me a question earlier, a lot of people have been giving testimonies about Awontom Scientific Herbal Hospital. A lot of people, whether you matter how the sickness is. And the secret in it is that when we talk about herbal per se, a person will ask you, what is herbal? What is herbal? Naturally, when God planted leaves, He planted them naturally. And when we use them naturally, it cures naturally.
Oh.
Herbal is supposed to be natural and it will cure natural. The reason is that when I talk about natural and it's supposed to cure natural, is that if you are a herbal doctor, don't just think that because I'm a herbal doctor, every leaves I'm supposed to pick them. No. Even if this leaf is for the treatment of hepatitis, it doesn't just mean that when you see this leaf at any corner, any place, you are supposed to pick it. No. We have a particular place you are not supposed to pick them. For example, this leaf, you are supposed to pick it at where there shouldn't be fertilizer before. There shouldn't be condemned before.
Or any other chemical.
Or where they have ever dig or do galamsey before, you are not supposed to pick herbal drug or herbal medicine at that point. Do you know why?
No.
You might have go there and even see that leaf being beautiful than the others. It is the chemical that make it to look that beauty, and it has already poisoned.
Means it doesn't have strength.
When you pick that leaf and you want to treat somebody, it cannot do anything. Even if it can be able to cure the person, it will give sickness to the person more than it cure. The disadvantage it will give it to the person will be more than the advantage it will take.
Okay, before we come back to there, I want you to give me, is there any difference between the orthodox drugs and then the herbal drugs? Is there differences?
I will get to that point, but let me learn something here.
Okay.
Like I was telling you earlier, you're asking about what is herbal. Let me finish it.
Okay.
So that it wouldn't confuse our listeners.
Okay.
What I mean is that if you are a herbal doctor and you want to do it and do it proper, Study it well.
Okay.
If you think that your mother died and leave it, or your parents died and leave it, study it well. Aside that, try to go to school and also study it in the book, so that you can be able to apply both your motherhood and the bookhood. The reason is that, as I was telling you, we don't pick leaves anyhow. We have a place of picking leaves. And after getting the leaves too, when you get them to the house, we have the way of drying them. For example, you can't just go to the forest and bring the leaves to the house and you start boiling. No. You have to wash them with salt.
Oh.
After washing them with salt, you have to get a place whereby you can dry them. There shouldn't be too much of sun. There shouldn't be too much of heat. And you should make sure that always you should be there turning them, so that it can be able to dry and dry proper. Now, after drying it and you want to boil it, we don't just boil it and then natural thing and air and everything is just flying inside, and you think you are preparing a medicine. You have already polluted it. You have already condemned it. You understand? What I mean is that when we talk about herba is a natural thing. When you pick it from the ground in the good right way, it's supposed to cure sickness. And it doesn't mean that this leaf can cure everything. No. Each and every leaf have the sickness it cure. We have a leaf that cure hepatitis. We have a leaf that cure typhoid. We have a leaf that keep what they call stomach ulcer. We have a leaf that cure kidney problem, that cure headache,
And many more.
and many more. It is not one leaf. It is not one tree. Every leaf with what it does. And beside that too, we have some leaves. If you want to fetch it, unless only impotent people who can fetch it.
Oh.
It's not everybody that can fetch leaf. No. Only impotent people that can fetch it. We have leaves like that. And we have some leaves too. It is only albino who can go for it.
Eesh.
And we have leaves. It is only twins that can go and fetch it.
Sure.
And we have leaves that a man who have never have sex with a lady before, that can pick it.
Eesh.
And we have a particular leaves. A man that his child have never died before too can pick it. And sometimes too, the leaves, when you even want to go to pick it, we have some leaves. When you get there, you have to salute the leaf or the tree. After saluting it, you put down a coin to the leaf. And the leaf too, we have both male and female.
Huh?
We have both male and female. So if you want the female, you prepare the female way. If you want the male, you prepare the male way. So the male have it weight and the female have it weight. So when we get there, at least you drop the coin and pick your leaf. For example, we have a leaf we call tamieu. That leaf, if you pick that tamieu early in the morning and you've not speaking to anybody and you just went straight to the tamieu, drop down your coin, any coin from your heart, you drop down to the tamieu and you tell it that I want to fetch you. Maybe somebody is owing me. I want to take my money back. Or maybe somebody sent me to Juju, to Malam, or to any court, and I want my name to be clean. Or they send me to any court. I wouldn't want to go to court. Then you fetch the leaf. After fetching the leaf, if you know the people's name, you use, if you want them to die, you use red pen and write. But if you want them to live, you use green pen and write. After writing it, we have a oil we call asha. The oil is called asha. If you pour asha,
in fact,
on
don't
that
continue.
leaf,
Don't continue. People will use this opportunity to do bad things. So I want you to just.
So what I mean is that leaf cannot be any leaf. Leaf cannot be any leaf. And before a leaf can treat to, you have to be pure, honest, and trust. Because if you are not pure and trust and honest, you cannot do herba. Because if you are somebody who like taking people's wife, who have numerous girlfriends, who want stealing, who doesn't want truth, you cannot do herba. Because sometimes the trees themselves will even come to your office. He will turn as a human being that I want to buy medicine. A person who's talk anyhow, you can't do medicine. You can't do herba.
Like those who just speak anyhow to
Good.
people.
You
It doesn't
do
give respect.
Yes. So most herbals are not working because of double prices. Number two, they doesn't know where they fetch their leaves from, where to fetch and where not to fetch. Number three, they doesn't even know what to use for the medicine. And even today, it has gotten to a money system in such a way that many people are now just using everything for medicine. Somebody can be selling medicine and he will tell you this medicine is curing gonorrhea, is curing syphilis, is curing typhoid, is curing malaria, is curing diabetes, is curing
One drug.
One medicine.
Wow.
So to answer your question, this is how it is. You were asking me a second question.
The question was that, do you have, what are some of the difference, or we are saying orthodox drugs and then herbals. So what are the difference?
Oh, the difference between chemical and herbal is that all the medicines are coming from tree. There is no any medicine that is not coming from tree. No. Every medicine is coming from tree. You know, this herbal, we use them for capsules. We use herbal for capsules. We use herbal for tablet. How do we do it? We boil them. Sometimes we boil them, filtrate them, put them inside the machine. If you want them to be brown, they will come out brown. If you want them to be white, they will come out white. So the same thing as the chemical or the orthodox medicine, the same thing they do it. It's just that some of the medicine, the white man medicine, some of them are not coming from tree. Some of them, they use some chemical to do it. So sometimes taking the white man medicine or the chemical medicine, let me say it have affect about 70% and 30% do good.
Means the effect, the effect is about 70.
Yes.
Wow.
For example, when we talk about you see you can tell you that when you take this medicine and you are having any pain, it will go. Don't forget that they said if you have any pain, it will do what? It will go. We call it painkiller. You understand?
Yeah.
And why do we call it painkiller? It means any part of your body that is paining, it will kill the pain. It will sustain the pain. It doesn't mean that it has gone. No. The next day, the pain will do what? It will come back again.
You take it again.
So sometimes you could remember that, or you could realize that if they send a madman to hospital, or they want to do somebody, DNC, want to do the person operation, you have some medicine that will inject the person. The person will be like, he's dead, or he doesn't even know anything.
He doesn't feel anything.
After operating the person, the power or the medicine, the power of the medicine, when it is gone, the person will now feel that my part of my body is paining me. You understand? We call all those medicine painkiller. You understand? It causes a lot to the person's body. So that is why if a person is suffering from hepatitis B, we advise you that drugs like painkiller drugs, some of them I don't want to mention them because it's somebody company. I wouldn't like to mention them.
You will not be even grateful.
Good. So we have some medicines that you are not supposed to take them when you have hepatitis. And the same thing, we have some medicine in the herbal, you are not supposed to take them. So we want to talk about the differences between orthodox medicine and then herbal medicine. Herbal is something that treats you, and when it is gone forever. And orthodox or the chemical medicine is medicine. If it treats you today, it is not gone forever. It only sustains the pain, or it manages the sickness for a meantime.
So it means it's a temporary use.
It is a temporary use.
Wow. So I want my listeners out there to do best to like our page, subscribe, share, and also pass their comments on these issues. This is Reverend Dr. Samson, somebody who is a man of God at the same time a doctor. You know that God has really blessed him very much. And we have a brother who is also Elder Dr. Moses. He is also working with Awentwam Herbal Scientific Hospital Center. Please don't forget to share. Don't forget to subscribe. Our follow-up question is, when you talk of herbals, what are some of the effects of herbal drugs? Or do they have effects? Because we know that the orthodox drugs have effects. So the herbals, do they have effects?
Oh, yes.
And if they have, how do they affect human?
Okay. Oh, yes. Like your question said, do they have negative impact in herbal drug? Yes, we have negative impact. Everything that have positive impact have negative impact.
Wow.
And the reason is that although herbal drug is naturally, but it still have a negative impact. The negative impact of it is people who go to where they have ever dig or do galamsey before and pick the medicine, or people who harvest their medicine from where they have ever planted and pour fertilizer before or poor chemicals like weedicides, condemn, and all those set of things before. Those medicines can cause harm to your body more than good. So we have disadvantages in herbal only to those medicines that they fetch them from where they are not supposed to fetch. But naturally, if you take them from where they are supposed to take, there is no any side effect in it. But if you pick them from where they are not supposed to pick, you can get side effect. And sometimes too, don't forget, you may pick them from where they are supposed to pick, but when you get them to the house, you spoil them in the house. Because I told you that when you bring them to the house, we have something that we use to wash them, and that is salt.
The process.
Good. So how you process it will tell you that it is still medicine. It is still not harmful or not. After boiling it, the boiling itself will tell you how should the fire percentage be. We have a percentage of the fire. Not just that when you light the
boiling
fire,
point.
that's the boiling point. Not just light the fire and say the fire is just burning anyhow. No. We have a percentage of the fire. How many minutes that the medicine is supposed to boil up to? How many quantity of water should I supposed to pour inside the pot? And how many measurements should I measure the medicine in this 2 drams of water? When it finished, what should I put inside to preserve it so that it will not spoil? How do I filtrate it? How do I bottle it? What container do I pour it inside? All those things count. And for you to get the advantage or disadvantage will now come out from that place. That's why sometimes some people will send their medicine to Akuapem for research for the Food and Drugs Board to prove it, and then they will go and come and tell you that, oh, they didn't prove my medicine. Somebody will go 2-3 times and say, oh, they are wicked, they didn't prove my medicine. Not that they didn't prove your medicine. Although you pick your medicine from where it's supposed to pick, but how you process it and how you enter it, you have failed.
So this is precisely how many days or weeks or months or year can a herbal drug could be lasted?
Oh, when we talk about how many years, a weeks, it can take so many years, depending the way you preserve it. Like I told you earlier, how to dry it will tell you how many years it should spend. How you boil it should tell you how many years it's supposed to preserve. Herbal drugs doesn't just have expiring date on them anyhow. No. And I have never ever seen somebody taking a herbal medicine, and say it is expired and it has caused harm to me. No. Unless it is actually spoiled. So how you preserve it will tell you the number of years it will go to.
Right, as we are communicating, a friend just asked me that, so if I take the root of a plant, or let's say the back cover of a plant, is it herbal too?
Oh yes. Like when we talk about herbal, somebody can pick the leaf like this and boil. He will pick this leaf, pick this leaf, pick this leaf. That is 3, right? And pick this leaf. They are all what? Leaves. And boil the leaf alone. A person may go, he doesn't want the leaves. He will pick only the branch like this.
Okay.
And pick another branch, maybe 4 of them, boil only them. A person may go and pick only the back, plus the leaf, plus the branch, and boil them.
And they all function the same?
They all function the same. But just that sometimes the root has its work differently. The leaf has its work differently. And the stem has also its work differently. As the back also have its work differently. You understand?
Yeah.
So sometimes doing medicine, you can combine the root, the back, the leaves, and even the stem, and combine them together and do medicine. And sometimes when you are able to combine that way, it's very powerful. It's very powerful.
Yes, like we usually say, herbs, since we were young, or our childhood age, when you say herbal, we know that herbals are full of syrups,
Okay.
or a liquid form.
Okay.
But now we can see that development has come, and then there are tablets and capsules. Do they work as the syrup? And how do you do the capsules and the syrup?
Oh.
Is it not an orthodox way?
Oh. As I were telling you earlier, I want to talk about herbal. You asked me the difference between chemical and herbal. And I was telling you that the same thing they use for doing the chemical, which is the tablet, the capsules, the syrup, the powder, and whatsoever, and in the injection, in the herbal too, we do it. How do we do it? It is by the matter of having machines.
But don't you
Right
think
now,
putting something in a machine is also toxic?
oh no, it is not toxic. As I told you earlier that we have a machine or we have a silver we call a Stilda stainless. You understand? How do we boil it? We have every boiling point. So that machine is meant purposely for medicine and it doesn't cause any harm. They meant it purposely for medicine. It doesn't cause any harm. Before harm come there, then it is from the leaves you pick, or it is from those who are there to manufacture the medicine.
Okay.
Through the boiling or through the bottling. You understand? That may bring it. Without that, there is no any harm in it. So herbal medicine can do capsules, syrup, tablet, powder, injection, and all that. So there is no any harm in it. There is no any harm in it. Provided you have machines that can be able to do it. You are highly welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. But your final conclusion, what are some of the advices you give to people out there who are interested into herbals or who wants to become a herbal doctor and those who are interested in taking herbal drugs?
Oh, the little thing I will tell my colleagues who are sick is that there should be much emphasis on herbal drugs more than the chemical, because the chemical wouldn't help us. Our grandparents were taking herbal, yet they live up to 120 years. They were not going to clinic and hospital. They were not weighing our babies, yet they live long. But today we claim we are in the hospital, and yet we die early. The advice I will give it to my sisters and my brothers is that they should go to a proper herbal hospital or a proper herbal clinic.
Like Awintom Herbal.
Good, like Awintom Scientific Herbal. But they shouldn't be going to any place at all. If you find out by going to any place at all, that is where your sickness cannot go. So the little advice I will give it to them is that also my colleague brothers and sisters who want to do herbal, they should do it proper so that they will not spoil the name. Some normally pick sawdust, some normally also pick acid, and they are selling it for people to take. My advice to them is that they should stop. They should stop and do it well. Do it on the proper way so that it can be able to help us and people can be able to respect herbs because herbs is naturally and God loves herbs.
Thank you very much. But Elder Moses, I want you to say something to your customers out there about Awintom Herbal. So what do you have for them?
Okay, I give thanks to God first, and I also appreciate you people for the wonderful job you people are also doing. As my boss always said earlier, people supposed to do it as he said because herbal medicine is something that is wonderful and also cure as he said according to his speech. And I can surely say that people, those are also taking the herbal medicines, should also take it according to the times that they are giving them, because we have times we are giving them times that you're supposed to take it morning, afternoon, and evening. So also my advice to them is also that they should be taking it according to the normal point or according to the normal time, as my boss said earlier. That is the word I have with them, and I say to may God also take a part in it and let everybody be safety from herbal medicine.
Thank you very much. This Beulah Multimedia, we have just had a one-on-one encounter with Reverend Dr. Samson and his deputy, Dr. Moses. Yes, we have learned a lot about herbs, and I really think and then hoping that all people or all Ghanaians or all Africans will now go into herbs more than the Orthodox, because we have got to know that herbals are very, very powerful and they are God gifted. So we thank you for watching us, but don't forget, subscribe, share, and also like our page. Your comments are very important. Let us have it. Thank you, and then we meet another day for another conversation.